hit the record button. We're alive now. At least, okay, we're recording, I should say. And this is our welcome back episode. We skipped a week. Sorry to our listeners who were like waiting on bated breath, wondering where the fight plug's at. We were having technical difficulties last week, and if you could have heard before we started recording this episode, I was having just a wee bit of technical difficulties today, but we got it all sorted out, and I see those audio EQs bumping. So welcome back, Brandon. How you doing, man? How'd you enjoy your week off from calling this sport of mixed martial arts with me?
It's a little Oppenheimer, a little Barbie. It's about it.
Nice. I watched Oppenheimer too. Very fun.
No, I didn't watch either. I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Oh, that's understandable. I'm sure you took the kids.
My kid,
probably.
Yeah. I can take my kid to Oppenheimer.
You know what's funny? It didn't even register to me that you were joking about Barbie. I thought you were saying like barbecue, like an Aussie would say. A little bit of Oppenheimer, a little bit of shrimp on Barbie.
I did finally, like we were talking about, like doing brisket. I finally did a brisket. I've been watching brisket trim videos for like 5 years. So like I did it all perfect, right? Yeah. And my family's like, bro, you just wasted like $30 worth of meat. And I'm like, no, I would have wasted it if I would have cooked it.
Yeah.
Because I'll just render this down, and then we'll trim this. And then I was cooking it was like for 6 hours, and it was like 1:30, and then they're like, dude, put it in the oven. It's taking too long. And I was like, oh my God, dude. I was just getting like so mad. And I was like, just do what you fucking want. And then they did it. And then they ended like putting it in a crock pot. And I was like, this is insane, dude. I was like, you guys are fucking insane. Dude.
It is so crazy. Mad. It's crazy how much fat those come on. Like if they're completely untrimmed, it's totally insulated by fat. Like if you cooked
then
it
it's
like
all
that,
oxidized meat on the outside. It's like all brown. So I just cut around it, and then I cut like that mohawk off, all the fucking silver skin. Dude, it looked I was like, wow, good job, dude. Like that's great. I did it all myself. And then they're like, they saw like the pile of meat, and they're like, what the fuck, dude? They got all fucking pissed.
Ungrateful ass family.
Yeah. I was like, dang. And then I was like, okay, 4 parts 16 mesh pepper, 2 parts salt. And then like I had a special little like seasoning that I put in, and I was like, I'm gonna add this. And then I put like pickle juice and fucking mustard, and they were like, what? Why would you put that? And I was like, it's a binder. It keeps. And they were just like, oh, fuck. Put it in the crock pot. I was like, oh my God, dude.
I don't tell you how to cook A, B, and C. I'm sure you. I don't
come to your job and knock the fucking broom out of your hand. all fucking mad and shit. All spitting on my mom's floor. All pissed.
Well, I'm glad you're back with us. You're the heart of the show, in my opinion, Brandon.
Thanks. Thanks. Man.
Also with us today, another man who appreciates brisket, but I don't know if he's successfully smoked one yet. Mike Gonzalez from the WMMA podcast that we do is back. We haven't done a WMMA episode in a little while, but he's joining us for this UFC 291 breakdown. Mike, have you successfully cooked a brisket yet?
No, I haven't. Just haven't had a chance to make one.
Dude, they wasted. It was 6 hours on the fucking thing, and I wasted half a bag of post oak pellets. 6 hours, about 30 minutes trimming, dry brining, and they just threw it in a fucking crock pot.
I have 2 failed briskets under my belt, and no successful ones. I've only attempted brisket twice.
I think that's why I've held off, because I know you've said you failed like multiple times. So
yeah,
I'm like, man, those things are expensive.
Yeah, well, we got it for Costco for like $67. So I mean, that is expensive, but it was like everybody was like, oh, well, I'll eat it, and it was like a family or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll do it, and then I did it, dude, step by step. I've been literally I watch probably like at minimum 4 videos a week, like how everyone has done it, and I did it exactly how I wanted. I got it to 6 hours. It looked gorgeous, dude. it looked fucking gorgeous in there. Like on the 4th hour, little bit of fucking apple cider vinegar spritz just on the dry parts. Fucking beautiful, dude. I was like, no, and then they're like, how much longer? And I was like, oh, we're eating this tomorrow. They were like, what? I was like, yeah, we're eating this tomorrow. Like, this has got another at least 10 hours. So I was running at like 225. I was like, so this is going to be another 2 hours. Then I'll foil boat it. And then I'm going to put it in the oven at like 170 for at least 6 hours. So I figured tomorrow by about 7:30. What do you guys think? And they're just like, put it in the crock pot. We'll eat it tonight. I was like, what? This was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was like, what? And then I just go do whatever the fuck you want, dude. And they were just eating roast with like tortillas. I was like, okay, dude. Fine.
This
dude.
is just shredded beef now.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what my sister would do back in the day. And to be honest, it was before I got into barbecue. And I loved it. Like, she would do that. She would put it in a pressure cooker and get it to where it's basically just all like shredded beef with barbecue sauce.
Like
No, a brisket. She would do a brisket. Yeah. And back then I loved it, but I wasn't exposed to like what brisket is in the barbecue world, where it's got to be sliced super thin and stuff.
Dude. I trimmed it. I mean, I had a special knife for it. I had that like fish boning knife that you see. I had a fucking cutting glove. I was like, look at me, dude. I'm literally Guga right now.
You're better than Guga.
That's literally me, dude.
It's a testament to how close to the vest you keep it, though, because on social media, not a single post, no pictures of brisket, nothing.
Because it would have been. You think I'm gonna show my ass and then fuck it up? Everybody, how'd that brisket go? And then show them my fucking dad's 49ers crock pot. Oh, there it is, right there. yeah, that's what I was gonna do, dude.
But it sounds like you barbecue a lot of other dope shit, and
I don't. It's mostly just people dying. Or super dark.
Yeah,
what I post.
Shit posts. Total shit posts.
Straight fucking shit post weirdo shit where my family like texts me if I'm okay, kind of shit.
And between the three of us, like none of us ever post anything about MMA anymore because I think we're just all.
I do on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I remember back in the day, I used to constantly post about MMA on Facebook. I would post videos.
Facebook.
I would post on Facebook. I would post like my top 10 knockouts of the year and of all time and all that stuff. And like
I would do live live updates with my fucking thoughts. And then fucking people started complaining that on fight nights, like their entire wall would just be my post about whatever card was going on.
To be fair, I can see where they're coming from because like I was in the movies because I watched up until a certain part of the London card. And then like I went to the bathroom and then my fucking phone was like straight Fight Plug Pod chat. I was just like shit. I had to like scroll down and like work my way down.
I'm surprised Rodell hasn't chimed in with us and been like, you guys don't really talk about fights anymore. Because that used to be our group chat with him.
Yeah.
There would be some times when we could tell like, okay, Rodell's just checked out because this is an MMA chat now. Yeah. And now we've moved that over to the pod chat on IG. So it works out.
Goes to that, so.
Yeah. I think eventually Mike and I realized like, okay, we're just talking into the ether on Facebook, just posting about fights. So,
but we talk for like 3 hours a week about it. So it's like, I don't know. I'll post like stupid memes about the pod, but just to like put up the link, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Same here. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. Now we're talking about.
Comments. If you want me to post more naked photos of Jessica Andrade, put it in the comments. I'll fucking do it. I don't care. I'm sick like that.
Everybody will think that everyone will think we're just hopping on the bandwagon. Well, you were the one who started that shit. Like I didn't see anybody else posting like stuff like about that with her until I mean I'm not saying they got it from you, but you were a trailblazer in that regard.
Yeah, just let me know, dude. I've got a ton of shit on my phone. So just let me know.
A ton, you say? Okay.
But, well, I mean enough.
Let's dive into this card. Let's get started here because just another reminder, fellas, we're gonna get the timer of Doomed letting us know, because we have an hour on Google. So if we happen to cut out, just click the same link that I emailed you. It'll be the same show link, and then we'll just call that a commercial break on the actual episode. So we're here to talk about UFC 291. headlined by Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje 2. This is their rematch fight. I don't even remember what year they first fought, but it was a fucking banger. It's not a fight I will ever forget, but the date of which I did forget. Dustin Poirier is coming off of his win over Michael Chandler, and Justin Gaethje is coming off of his win over Rafael Fiziev just earlier this year. Dustin Poirier fought Michael Chandler, I believe it was November of last year. And yeah, here they are fighting. And you know what? This is, from top to bottom, this is a really, like, it's a good fight card, despite the fact that there's no actual title on the line. So for anybody who likes steaks, then, you know, and I'm not talking about the edible ones, that's not a whole lot of that here. Granted, both of these gentlemen, well, I'll ask you guys, what do you think are the chances or the likelihood that that the winner of this fight will be next in line for a title shot after Charles Oliveira, obviously, because he's going to go ahead and get in there with Islam again? But do you think there's actual title implications in this matchup? Whoever wants to go first.
No, I don't think there is. I think this is. I think both guys have had plenty of opportunities at the title, so I think this is kind of something that they're just giving them. Two guys that always go out and put on amazing fights, but I think realistically, none of us think that they can beat Makhachev, and Mak seems to have his sights set on moving up to 170 as well. So, I don't really see too many title implications coming out of this fight.
How about you, Brandon? Do you think either of these guys will punch their ticket?
I think Poirier does something insane. I don't know about Gaethje, but I think if Poirier does something insane, they might give him a shot just because he's older, more like legacy type dude. But I'm with Mike. I would say that's like a 25% chance, if that at best. And he would have to do something like blow everybody's fucking pussy off to really get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you guys in spirit, which just to say that as far as merit goes, I don't feel like, I don't think either guy should really be in taken into consideration unless one of them just has an absolute blowout performance. I think, but I just don't really put it past Dana and the powers that be. I do feel like either guy with a good performance here, and let's face it, I mean, it's hard to imagine this fight not being a contender for fight of the night, based off of their first meeting. But I do think that it probably comes down to the result of the Oliveira versus Makhachev rematch. Because if Oliveira wins that fight, then it's really going to be a hard sell for either of these guys to earn the rematch with him, because he just walked through both Justin and Dustin. If Islam defends against Oliveira, Mike, I know you mentioned that he kind of has hinted at going up to 170 pounds. We'll see what happens there. But I think that if he wins and defends against Oliveira, it would be a fresh matchup. He hasn't fought either of these guys. Granted, we've seen like this archetype of a fight before. We've seen, he's kind of like the new version of Khabib. So I think we kind of have an idea what the fight will look like, because Khabib also beat both of these guys. But on paper, it's a new fight. And I just can't shake the idea that Dana wouldn't go there. But I think, everything completely, all those factors kind of removed from it, I think we're going to get a title contender worthy performance either way from both of these guys. But let's get into the X's and O's of it, though. Let's get into like who we're favoring here. I got to mention and remind you guys, if you're unaware, because I just remembered this earlier today, they're going back to Salt Lake City for this one. So this fight is happening at Elevation. Do you think that would favor Justin Gaethje significantly in any way? Because he trains in Colorado. So
I don't know. In this against Poirier, I don't know. Poirier's super professional about it, but the other fighters are very cavalier about it. They're like, "Oh, I came 2 weeks early." It's like, dog, you need a little more than 2 weeks. And then Kevin Holland's like was in Texas until like yesterday or whatever, and he's like, yeah, it's all good. I was in Southern California, so, and I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, what this? You guys need to take this. Like, almost all of them are saying, I'll come in 2 weeks early. I personally feel like you would need more than 2 weeks, especially if you're foreign, like if you're from not even from the United States. Yeah. I would definitely come in way sooner. If visa allowing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, as a high-level athlete myself, I know, right. That, it really takes more time than that to truly acclimate to the elevation. Mike, what do you think?
It's definitely a factor. I want to say, I agree that 2 weeks isn't enough time. I know a lot of guys will go out like a month in advance sometimes, just to get acclimated to the fight or to the elevation. In a 5-round fight, which is probably likely going to happen between these two guys, it's definitely going to come into play for at least Gaethje and Poirier. I want to say Pereira has been training as well a couple weeks ahead of time, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's been there. Like, he has a house. They said he got like a whole ass house.
I think he's been there a while. I don't know where Yan's at, or
2 weeks. That's why. Okay. Yan was like, "Oh, I'm not even worried. I came 2 weeks earlier, and I know I'm dressing like a cowboy." I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine."
But yeah, no, it's definitely going to have an impact. Something with like Holland, I think a lot of guys want to trust their cardio. Be like, all right, I already have good cardio, but
for whatever it matters, Bobby Green said it's like 2 weeks, and it's like, okay. Yeah. And then he was on Embedded. He bought a St. Louis hat. He's like, I want to get something to remind me of Utah. So he bought a St. Louis Cardinals hat, and they're just like, bro, what? And then he's like, yeah, SL, Salt Lake. And they're like, that's St. Louis. God damn. And he's like, oh, well, whatever.
And that was on the Embedded?
Yeah. He's like, oh, whatever. And they're like, dude, that's for the St. Louis Cardinals. And then he's like, what? Nah. And then he's like, yeah. And then he's like, get that shit embroidered with my name. Put King on there. So it's like the King of Salt Lake. And they're like, and then the guy looked at him like, okay. And then the guy did it, okay, the camera's on me, I'll do it. And like he put it on, and he's like, I want to see this hat. Because Utah, the college football team, they're good. They have a sick logo too, and it's red. So I thought he got a Utah Utes hat. So I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. And you put your name on there. He said, yeah, give me King, because I want to be the King of Utah. And like King of Salt Lake. And then he put it on, and it's a St. Louis Cardinals hat. And then his homie was like, he's like, it's sick, right? For Salt Lake. And then the homie was like, bro, that's St. Louis. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This shit looks cool. And like kept walking. I was like, dude, what? You're retarded.
That's a collector's item right there now. Yeah, that's like an iconic fighter memorabilia collector's item. Just wrong city and everything. Oh, Bobby Green never changed. What were we even talking about?
Elevation, Gaethje, we're talking about Dustin Poirier. Sorry, dude. King of the derail, dude.
No problem. As for my opinion on it, I would be a little more worried about it if I didn't think that Dustin Poirier was built for 5 rounds. Yeah. I think against another opponent who hasn't kind of shown that they have a 5-round ability in them, which is not to say that like Dustin Poirier has gone to 5 rounds a bunch, but he's fought in 5-round fights, and most of them have finished before that. But
and then there's 5 championship rounds.
You can go 5 rounds, but fucking Cain Velasquez could go 5 rounds, but we saw what happened when he wasn't at sea level. So
it's a factor for sure. And I do think it benefits Justin Gaethje, obviously, with him training at elevation regularly with Trevor Whitman. It's hard to overlook that, especially. And like I said, I was really disappointed to find out that this was in Utah again. Surprised they go back, but Utah must be breaking out the bag to bring the UFC back. So they'll be back again. And they didn't get a title fight, and I mentioned it obviously at the top that there's no official title fight on this card, but this didn't, and it's funny. This didn't need to be for a BMF title, in my opinion. Like this was going to be the headlining fight. This was going to be 5 rounds, anyways. I know it's hard to argue that you should put Blachowicz versus Poatan as the headliner when you have both of these boys getting at it, but you could have made that the headliner, made them fight 5 rounds because it's the headliner. The headlining fight always fights 5 rounds, anyways. And then also then attach the BMF belt to this fight to make it 5 rounds. But either way, neither here nor there.
Imagine they asked Dana that question. He's like, I don't want it to be like gimmicky. It's like, oh, thanks. I don't want to have that gimmicky feeling to it. So,
So what are we feeling though? This is being the rematch. Are we going to be in? Do we have a trilogy on our hands if Justin Gaethje gets this? Like, what do you feel like it's going to go that way? Are you leaning towards Poirier or Gaethje here? How do you think either guy gets it done?
Go for it, Mike.
I'm actually picking Gaethje by decision.
So, wow. Okay, so that's 2 of us. Go ahead. You don't need to hear what I got to say then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I have much like of a breakdown.
Right.
I just think the elevation is going to come into play. I mean, both guys are tough, but I think as the fight goes on, I think you may see Gaethje start to run with it. And yeah, I mean, coming into this, I don't know. I just have a feeling that Gaethje's going to pull it off.
Yeah,
in terms of a trilogy. I mean, the BMF belt's there now.
Yeah.
So I imagine
that changes everything.
I mean, I imagine they're going to want to promote that because they're bringing it back now.
Exactly.
So I could see them doing a third fight. I know Max Holloway's already thrown his name in there to wanting to fight whoever wins as well. So, it seems like the BMF belt is almost turning into something like the veterans belt. And, if it's just going to make exciting fights, with guys that are, still great, but no longer.
Is it like the Intercontinental champ? Like that kind of shit?
Kind of. But I think you're going to see guys that are like not necessarily in title contention, but like have had their opportunities. And, unless those champions do end up losing, I don't think they're going to get it back. So I think in order to make those fun and exciting fights, you may start to see, 170 and 145ers kind of swapping weight classes. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
And if neither guy gets a title shot, an official title shot with the win too, just more because of how inactive Dustin is starting to be, I could see them looking towards running this one back. I think he'd be content with being like, no, there's no more fighting back in the rankings. Like if it's 1-1, me and Justin, we're gonna go again and put the BMF title on the line or not. Either way, I mean. Brandon, you mentioned that you're also leaning towards Gaethje by decision.
I think it's gonna be like leg kicks early and then the altitude late is what's gonna fucking, and then probably some well timed, like where I think a lot of people are saying like the jab or like Gaethje's kind of changed the way whatever that means. He's changed the way he's fought. It's like a more cerebral type of like game plan he'll go in with. I think off the like more chaotic situations that we would see in a Gaethje fight, I think instead of just kind of flooring it with the punches, I think he may off the scramble go for takedowns and like get like well timed with like 1:45 left. The shit's getting chaotic, and then he changes levels and just grabs a fucking takedown, and he's in like half guard for like the last 1:10, just raining down some elbows whether they hit or not. But it looks like he's controlling the cage and scoring that way. I think that's what we'll see, but I don't know.
I gotta say I'm pretty much in line with you guys, and a lot of it is coming from the Fiziev fight, for Gaethje, and seeing kind of how he was able to adapt in that fight, and basically kind of like watching him. It's weird to say mature in the cage because this guy's cooked already. Like he's complete. Like he's not a hot prospect coming up trying to fill in the holes in his game or anything. Like he's a complete product. But we've seen Justin Gaethje go in there with reckless abandon before in fights where we kind of know if he kind of stuck to his P's and Q's a little bit more and fought a little bit more of a just less chaotic fight, he has the skills to get it done cleaner, but he wouldn't have all those fight bonuses if that was the case.
Yeah.
I do think that there's still a big potential for this fight to turn into an absolute brawl, and I think that's what a lot of people want to see. And Justin Gaethje may very well take it there, but I think some of the growth that we've seen from him and in that Fiziev fight, because I was very impressed with that Fiziev win.
That was amazing.
That win over Fiziev.
That was the type of fight where you would have fucking bet your house that he was going to go stupid and just start swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. I picked Fiziev going into that fight, so to see Gaethje almost finish him in that third, really turn it around in a big way, because Fiziev was looking great. He was looking like exactly the guy I thought he was going to be in that first run. Yeah,
damn it.
But yeah, I thought that Justin Gaethje fought a much more controlled fight there, and he used his jab more. He found his uppercut. He still has those devastating leg kicks that he's really known for. Plus, absolutely, like we all mentioned, the elevation. I know, obviously, Dustin Poirier has tremendous boxing, and I don't think he's going to lack in that regard. I'm not so concerned that he's going to be at a massive disadvantage. Like, I'm not expecting to see Poirier gas because of the elevation.
Right.
But we just know that that's something that's not going to hinder Justin Gaethje nearly as much. And this all could go out the window if they go out there in round one and it's like the whole like point at the ground moment and let's go. Because if it turns into a brawl, I really think it's anybody's fight. But if both of them stick to a game plan, I'm also leaning towards Justin Gaethje in this one to win the
I was going to
rematch.
say that I have a feeling that I don't know. I have a weird feeling that if Poirier loses, he might retire. But
I could see that. The man's made it.
I didn't think about that until you said that.
I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that if he does lose, that I think he might call it there. But I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. But
I do think it's possible. Yeah, I do think he would be leaving some money on the table for a potential trilogy fight with Gaethje if he loses. But who knows? Like we don't know how much money he made in those Conor McGregor fights. It was certainly enough that he probably doesn't have to fight anymore. But
even if there is money on the table for a third fight,
I'll never forget.
The question is going to be like, do you want to have another war?
Oh yeah.
Like, are you ready to go through that again?
Yeah. He said if it goes 5 rounds, like if the next time we'll see each other again, we'll be in the fucking hospital, because that's where we're going after 5 rounds if it makes it that far. And I was like, damn, that must be crazy to know. Like, he's probably like, they're probably 60% sure in their own heads, like, I'm going to the hospital one way or another this Saturday.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's probably like having a baby. They're like planning the route. They're like packing the bag. Like, how am I going to get to the hospital right after this fucking fight?
Yeah. But going back to looking at Poirier, though, man, I mean, I can't forget that, like, he's one of the only guys in recent history to, granted, it was at a weight class higher, for Holloway, but he's pretty much the only guy who's beat Holloway in a non-title fight recently at all.
The fight against Conor won me my first smoker I ever bought. The money I got from him beating the shit out of Conor, I screamed, and like everyone came. They're like, "What?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. Don't trip." Fucking bought a smoker, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And like I mentioned too, the I don't want to call it flat out inactivity, but compared to how often Justin Gaethje or how busy he's been in the cage, Dustin Poirier started to slow down a little bit. Rightfully so, man. The guy had been fighting really consistently, but he only got in there once.
Yeah. He
does, yeah. But I mean, either way, whether he has a lot going on outside the cage, at the end of the day, we're talking about what's going to happen in the cage, And I'm very critical of, and I'm not calling him a part timer, but that's one of my disses for fighters when you could start to tell it's like, okay, they have one foot out the door, they're just unofficially. But Poirier only got in the cage one time in 2022.
It would be different though if it was like coming in and then just kind of like sliding by. and like, oh, thanks for the money. See you next year when I need to promote something. But he fucking goes in and like fucking goes after it. So
he does his
that's
job
kind of
when he
like
gets in there.
respectable.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're all on team Justin Gaethje, and then we're all on Gaethje by decision too. Funny, neither of us are really picturing this fight kind of ending prematurely. And do you guys feel like that might be because, I don't know, Dustin has kind of like reached a level where we can't visualize him getting fucking slept?
I can't. I can't. Yeah,
that's what it is
You're
for me.
Exactly right. Good point, dude. That's it. I can't. I always do that before we think about it. I'm like, how can this end? And I like do like the AI version in my head, and I cannot see him getting knocked the fuck out. Not by Justin Gaethje. It would have to be someone bigger coming down and doing it to him.
Yeah. Poirier's a sneaky, beefy boy. He's a wide boy. All right, cool. So that's our main event breakdown. Let's mosey on over to this co-main event that could have title implications on it. It has none now. We all know what the situation is with the light heavyweight title, although I don't know if we've talked about it on the program. But Jamal Hill sustained an injury and also gave up his title. Whether or not he really officially like gave it up himself, or the UFC is just making all these light heavyweights fucking drop the title, which I think it's probably the latter. But yeah, once again, the light heavyweight title is vacant at this point. The idea of there being any kind of linear champion could be out the window. Well, I guess that was out the window as soon as John moved up to heavyweight. But Jan Blachowicz, former UFC light heavyweight champion, gets in there with Alex Pereira, who is the former middleweight champion. Jan Blachowicz, as we know, has experience with middleweight champions moving up and fighting him. He has a win over Adesanya Pereira, and that was his first and only UFC light heavyweight defense. Alex Pereira, on the other hand...
Who was that? Excuse me? You said he had a defense against Adesanya Pereira?
Oh, did I say is Israel Adesanya? I'm mixing their names now. But an impressive defense. Like, if they're gonna have one defense, I don't know if there is like a more valuable defense that he could have had at
light heavyweight. John Jones, but John Jones wasn't gonna do it though. So.
Yeah, he was never gonna get that fight. So sneakily, one of the better like light heavyweight title defenses. It
looks way
years.
Better now. Yeah, he beat Pereira. Yeah,
aged really well. Alex Pereira, I don't know that he has any. I mean, he has so few fights in his career. He's 7-2. I don't think he's ever fought at light heavyweight in MMA. I also don't know if he's ever fought at light heavyweight in, or whatever the equivalent is.
He was a light heavyweight champ, right? He was like
a
the
double champ, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that it would be for light heavyweight. But a guy who we've all known is like, dude, how does he make middleweight? He's absolutely massive. It's no surprise that he's gone up to light heavyweight now. There was obviously a trilogy there, on the table with Adesanya, but he's leaving middleweight in the rear view. And now these guys, they could have, like I said, they could have made this for the title, but it's not. Now it's only 3 rounds. And I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know if 5 rounds would have made a difference in what the outcome of this fight is going to be. I think, for me personally, before I ask you guys your opinions, I think them not making it a 5-round fight or attaching a title to it actually benefits Blachowicz, because then he only needs to hold Pereira down for 3 rounds. If you make it 5 rounds, then he has to dodge that left hook from Pereira for a full 5 rounds. But I've kind of let the cat out of the bag already early. I'm leaning towards Jan Blachowicz here. I think I need to check and see what the line is. I don't know if he's officially a dog or what, but how are you guys feeling about this fight? What do you guys think about Alex Pereira up at light heavyweight fighting the former champion?
I think Pereira's going to win. When it was booked, I thought Jan, but now though I think about it, with like his coach has recently fought Jan Blachowicz. I mean, as recently enough at that, and is a very good coach and has been coaching him for a while. There's like a lot of, not because like there's tape, and then there's tape of your coach who has fought the guy that you fought, explaining to you like, this is what I was thinking when I saw this. This is what he did when I saw this. And there's really, like, in my opinion, there's really no like better situation for. I mean, for a high level fucking world class athlete that Pereira is, to have that coach that's had that. So if he had any type of wrestling, it would be like the easiest fucking pick of all time. Well, obviously he doesn't.
Just a wee bit of defensive wrestling. That's all you need. Just a little dash of defensive wrestling.
Yeah, but I think just being so fucking strong though is going to help him. He's way stronger than Adesanya. Even when Adesanya had Gaethje when he was on steroids, he's still stronger than
allegedly.
Than Gaethje Sanya. Yeah.
Gaethje Sanya. What a fucking child. Mike, how do you think legendary Polish power fares against the deadly left hook of Alex Poatan Pereira moving up to light heavyweight?
I think the fight's gonna largely play out the same way Izzy and Yan did. I'm picking Yan. I mean, I want Pereira to win, but Yan's a really smart fighter. He's not gonna go out there and try to go toe to toe with a better striker. I mean, he didn't against Adesanya. I mean, there were times he, definitely struck with him, but, when the time was right, he took the fight down with relative ease and controlled him. I mean, granted, Izzy is a little smaller, but I don't think Pereira's takedown defense is that good. So when you have someone like Yan, who's a smart IQ fighter, I think he knows what he has to do to win. And I'm not expecting this fight to actually be very exciting. I think the excitement is going to come at the start of each round when it starts on the feet. I think you probably got a good 30 to 40 seconds before the fight gets back to the ground, and and just kind of grinds out a decision. I don't know. It's a tough fight for Pereira, especially in his first light heavyweight fight. But maybe not cutting as much weight is, gonna be a good thing for him, and maybe he will be able to stop a few takedowns and everything. But if he gets taken down with relative ease, at the gate, where it's just like, oh man, he didn't even, really put up a fight, or he tried but just still got taken down no matter what, then it's going to probably be a long night for him. I want to say Yan by decision. Part of me wants to say Yan by sub, but I would like to believe that Pereira's training with Glover, has trained him to a level that he's able to just, have sub defense and not just get immediately taken down and choked out somehow. So, I'm rooting for Pereira to win, and I would love to see a good knockout. But yeah, I'm leaning Yan being the smart fighter and, taking the decision and then getting back to his title shot, because, he had that draw with Ankalaev, and you have Jamal Hill and Jiri both out. So, he knows what's on the table for him, and I think he's going to take the safe route to get there.
Jiri versus Adesanya, or Jiri versus Pereira, the poster. How fucking sick of a poster would that be? Just like
that would be a great fight too.
Just like, what's up, bitch? I will fucking you'll get gyno from the testosterone from that poster if you're anywhere near that.
And Jiri is exactly the kind of madman who won't be bullshitting when he says, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna fucking stand with Pereira."
That sounds like a good challenge.
If he wants to scramble with me, we'll scramble. But no, I'm out there to. I would really be looking forward to that one too. I should mention the betting odds that I've been looking at on Tapology. Jan Blachowicz is the -120, near even favorite in this fight to Alex Pereira's +100. Jan Blachowicz getting a little up there in age, 40 years old, 5 months to Alex Pereira's 36 years. But Alex Pereira is not no spring chicken himself either. And if he's going to make a run for this light heavyweight title, like everyone's expecting, the UFC is going to have to put those wheels into motion soon. And I think this is a great fight to do that. A win over a former champion is going to do a lot for him in terms of getting him closer to a light heavyweight title shot. And obviously with the no timetable for Yuri's return, and I mean, Jamal Hill obviously is more recently injured, so he's going to be out of the picture for a bit. What is left for the winner of this fight to prove that, like, to make their name as a light heavyweight champion? Like, who do you fight? What's on the table? I don't think the UFC is going to put Magomed Ankalaev in there in another title fight with the winner of this fight. But no. What's next for the winner?
If Pereira wins, I think you're going to see Izzy Pereira 3 for the light heavyweight belt.
Okay.
If Yan wins, oh man,
it's tough.
It's tough.
I can name off the top. There's Magomed Ankalaev, Jamal Hill injured, Yuri Prochazka.
Well, you said Yuri's good in November, right?
I mean, if that's the case, I haven't read that.
If he's good, then I can definitely see them waiting for December.
They said October, November.
I could see them booking Yan versus Yuri in December. But outside of that,
I like how he doesn't even entertain the idea that Pereira, they're going to book Yan versus Yuri in December. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, because I like I said, I think if Pereira wins, I think they're going to do Izzy for the light heavyweight belt. You know, you call me crazy, but Al Capone. Crazy. Al Capone.
I was gonna mention Capone too. I was literally looking at him right now because he's right above Johnny Walker in the rankings. But
he's on the street. You know, he's been kind of impressive, and light heavyweight is in need of challengers, fresh challengers.
Yeah, I'm the perfect amount of stoned for that shit to just make me fucking laugh. That shit just went straight to my meat. The whatever liquid meat I have in my brain, dude, that's like there's a huge portion of that fucking meme picture in my head, dude.
You know, and if we're looking historically at the light heavyweight division, like, you know, we got some questionable title shots, or, you know, or people that earned a title fight. What's that homie's name? He lost to DC.
Patrick Cummins?
Nah, the other guy. He was claimed to have knockout power, but he never really finished anybody. He's like a Russian dude or something. He's fallen off hard ever since that fight too.
Volkan Ozdemir?
Yeah, Volkan Ozdemir.
Oh, okay.
You know, he had
the guy
that
like did the watch celebration, the watch selling.
And so, you know, if he's, you know, if we have historically guys like that getting title shots, then I don't see why not. Just throw Al Capone in there. Heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division needs it.
I like this shit on a fight night too.
And I would pick
just disrespectful as fuck on a Detroit fight night card or some shit.
I forgot Volkan Ozdemir got a title shot. That is, you went into the vault with that one. Yeah,
good call, dude. Hell
true.
Yeah.
The standards for who gets a title shot.
Dominic Reyes? Didn't Dominic Reyes get one?
Yeah, Dominic Reyes, Thiago Santos.
Oh.
I mean, you know, at the time they were good wins and everything, and they were on the streak, and you know, but
now you look
about what you
like,
said.
Whoa.
Yeah, about what you mentioned about, you know, Adesanya possibly coming up and fighting Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight champion. I mean, that would be incredible. That would be very entertaining and just like exactly the kind of storyline shit, like the hunted becomes the hunter sort of deal.
Does the titty come back? Yes.
Does
the rat?
I don't
How
think
big
that
does
happens,
the titty
though.
get this time?
I definitely don't think that happens though. There's just I mean, he's got his fight with Sean Strickland now, and neither of us are none of us are particularly worried that he's going to drop that.
The Color Revolution race war is still looming.
Yes, that's the one we need to see before he decides to make any kind of move up to light heavyweight. We need to see him get in there and defend his title against Dreki Duplessis. And then after that, then you know, if he wants to move up, then for sure. But that's too much of a moneymaker. I think, anyways. But it's a little. Here's the thing. I even kind of thought, and this would be ridiculous. I don't really think the UFC would do it, but how much of a mind fuck would it be if they have this fight? No, they can't do that because it's only 3 rounds. I was going to say they'll announce, whoever wins, they'll fucking raise their hand, and then Dana will just come out and surprise them with the belt and be like, "You're the new champion now." And these guys wouldn't even rather. These guys wouldn't even realize. Yeah, they wouldn't even realize that they were fighting for the title. But how heinous would that be if you crowned a new champion for a 3-round fight, though? So,
are you passing this off as something that can actually happen?
No, I don't think it'll happen. My disclaimer was I don't think that this would happen. But
I'm burnt. I'm like so burnt. So like any like type of like hyperbole, like you have to like spell this shit out to me. I'm like, is he really passing this off as a viable? If
the Gaethje Poirier fight wasn't happening on this card, and for whatever reason this was the main event, and they didn't have another title fight.
Right.
I mean, I think they would just make it a title fight. They wouldn't keep it a secret from the fighters because how fucked up would that would be?
They say, right? Is it? No, I might be wrong, but they said like I guess is there no commission in Utah? So pretty much like the UFC is its own commission in this state, right? So they can say whatever the fuck they want.
Let's get producer Chua to pull that up for us.
Is he on?
I don't know, but no, he's not. Yeah, I don't know what the situation is. I would assume that there's some kind of athletic commission in Utah, but I don't know. I know jack shit about how things work in Utah in that regard. So you might be right. There might be some juice to that. Okay, now let's get into the rest of this.
We got the timer now.
We have 10 minutes until we're going to get cut off, and then we could jump back on. But in this featured bout, Stephen Thompson getting in there with the man who has all the audacity, Michel Pereira, at 170 pounds. Has it really been since the Kevin Holland fight? That's the last time we saw Stephen Thompson in there?
Yeah.
That can't be right. It was. Oh, it was only
7 months. The audacity is they did a commercial with Kevin Holland and Stephen Thompson, and they made it seem in the commercial like this is fake because like Holland had a chance.
Yeah, I think Holland takes him down at one point in the fight.
Yeah, like, that would never happen.
Yeah, Michel Pereira riding a 5-fight winning streak coming into this, and it might even be longer. This is just the most recent 5 fights that Tapology is showing me. Let me go back and look and see. He is on a 5-fight winning streak. Dating back to September of 2020. So one of the better win streaks at welterweight right now, relative to his ranking. I mean, they're not wins over world beaters. You got Santiago Ponzinibbio and Andre Fialho, which are very solid quality recent wins. Going back further, Nico Price, Chaos Williams, and Zalim Imadaev. That was a sneaky tough one. Then on the other end of the board, Stephen Thompson snapped a 2-fight losing streak with that win over Kevin Holland. So Stephen Thompson, 40 years old, 11 years older than Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira definitely the fresher fighter in terms of age, but I have not seen Stephen Thompson really slow down one bit. He certainly hasn't grown as a fighter so much in terms of his skill set and the things that he does inside the cage. But, I mean, for my money, if we're talking about the eye test, seeing him in there, the things that he did to Kevin Holland, I mean, he still looks like the Wonder Boy of old. Do you think that those skills will kind of shine through and make this the exciting fight that they're really hoping that this would be with the kind of offense that both of these guys can generate?
Stephen Thompson he's fought Johnny fucking Hendricks, Rory McDonald, Tyron Woodley
twice,
Jorge Masvidal, Darren Till, whatever that means, Hands of Steel, Jeff Neal, Gilbert fucking Burns, Bilal Muhammad.
How could you forget the name Bilal Muhammad? The man's fought everybody.
Fuck? Yeah.
No.
That's insane, dude.
If we're talking experience.
Anthony Pettis? God damn. Sorry.
Robert Whittaker?
Robert fucking Whittaker. Okay, so and then read off Pereira's again. What the fuck?
I'm actually having fun looking at his record now to see. I'm going even deeper to see, like, okay, who did he fight?
This guy's insane. This guy's so badass. What a
Matt
fucking
Brown.
Imagine if you're that guy, and then the writers of the commercial or the director's like, okay, this is where Kevin takes you down. And it's like, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then you're go to makeup. He's like, why do I have to go to makeup? Well, Kevin beat your ass in the commercial, so you're gonna have tons of scars and shit. It's like, oh, okay, sure. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, no, if we're talking experience, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has it in droves compared to Michel Pereira's record. And I'll do that for you.
How much would you pay to learn how to strike from Stephen Thompson? Like if you go 3 hours to Stephen Thompson, like for him to teach you, like a striking seminar, that would probably be like super high up there, right? I
am, like I said, a peak physical athlete. So no,
Brandon, please.
I wouldn't pay a whole lot because my current state, physical state and age, I'm not gonna pick a whole lot up from it. It would be really fucking cool. But as far as actually like going in there and learning something,
would that be like learning how to hit from like Barry Bonds or like someone like that? It's insane. I was just thinking about it like that. God,
that's some fucking Michael Jordan of BJJ right there.
I don't know if Stephen. I mean, I'm sure Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I think he's probably a great teacher, instructor, or whatever. I know he works with a lot of youth and stuff like that. And he's great for that. I don't know that he can teach me what he can teach others.
At the end of the day, his style is based in karate. And unless you're, I think, based in karate as well.
Well, a lot of kids start in karate though. Like now,
I guess I'm just speaking as like me, like primarily being boxing, kickboxing, and BJJ. Like, I could
all snobbed out. Oh, just like Stephen Thompson's actually a karate queer, so not me.
I think I would just gravitate towards a different fighter to train rather than Thompson.
Fair. Yeah,
I would 100% send my kid to train under Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Absolutely, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, because my kid does Muay Thai, and I was like, shit. But having that, and then because then you can learn something way different. So like you have like the Muay Thai or the boxing, and then like he'll kind of like do this, but now do it this way from this angle, because like the angles this guy takes are fucking wild, and like the speed of his kicks are fucking crazy.
It makes me think about what Yair Rodriguez was talking about in the lead up to his title fight with Volk recently, where they asked him on media day like how he trains for an opponent like Volk, or just how he trains his unorthodox shit in general, like the crazy stuff he throws. And he had a really fascinating answer. I don't know if either of you saw it, but he said like, okay, well, imagine you're just in a complete dark black void. There's no light. And every time you throw a strike or you throw a punch, it makes a line of white, like where, the strike, the trajectory of the strike. And as you throw more and more strikes, you start to see this repeating patterns, these lines kind of like overlapping on themselves, because everybody throws a punch like this from this angle, everyone throws this kick. And he said, I like to focus on the space between those lines and to find new angles and stuff like that. And maybe it's kind of hyperbole, but I also thought
how'd that go, cool. Bud? Yeah, great, very cool. Yeah, thanks, bud. We'll see you for the get in line for the BMF.
I mean, ask Korean Zombie how that went, though, man. Yeah, that fucking elbow. People could say that elbow is flukish, but dude, that's an elbow. Dude,
that's the biggest fucking Sapo in UFC history.
Yeah,
dude,
thank you, Mike.
He threw that elbow.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, sir.
If that was a Sapo, we would have seen other people accidentally reverse elbow.
There's no
before.
Better word for that fighter, that moment, than Sapo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That happened that one time.
Fast fucking shit, bro.
I'll never see it happen again. I'm sorry.
Sapine, or
because people aren't throwing it. Because other fighters aren't thinking about the space between the lines.
Because there was 1 second.
He saw the white lines.
Korean Zombie ducked.
Should have saw some fucking wrestling shoes.
Strike ever.
See your feet with wrestling shoes on it. There, dog. Take your cocoa belt
Everyone
somewhere
forgets
else.
that Yair was fucking getting dominated in that fight too, to that fucking Sapo ass strip.
I don't think
Yair was on some weird shit.
I didn't
Yair
forget.
was we talked about it. Yair was on some weird shit like for a few years there. He was on some weird shit. If our boy God damn it. If our boy they offered a title shot to, but he turned it down, Sharapov, Magomed, if he would have fucking,
that was the dream fight.
If he would have been in the Yair wouldn't even be in our heads. We wouldn't be speaking about him right now if that guy would have stayed. You know what I'm saying? So that's another Sapo fucking. Thanks again for using that word, Mike, because that's another Sapo thing. Like life just straight up fucking. He probably did straight brujeria, dude, to fucking get that guy out of there. He probably pulled some of that guy's hair, dude.
I thought you were going to say that was our featherweight white whale of a fight that we never got. But instead you're saying that if Magomed Sharapov had stuck around, Rodriguez wouldn't even be a factor. He would just be obsolete. The call's about to end, by the way.
He would be fucking doing some weird shit with Ortega, dude.
All right. Let's I'm going to hit pause. Let's get out of this call and jump right back in, folks. We will probably put in a commercial or some bullshit.
Oh, so cancel out of this, huh?
Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. We talked about a little bit of the history of Tony Ferguson, the streak that he was on. You blew Brandon's fucking brains out when you said you never thought he was that good. And then we started to break down the fight, and now Mike is breaking down the fight officially. So go on.
And like I said, I had been saying this for years, and Kenny could attest to this as well. I know I was never a big fan of his, nor did I think any of that streak was that impressive outside of, I want to say, RDA. But yeah, no, I would say right now at this point we've gone into full-on delusion, and at a certain point I think the coaches got to step in and say, if I can sit him down too and do this. But I'm picking Bobby Green by finish, almost TKO. If he does lose, I hope the UFC cuts him. I really do. Not just because I want to see someone lose their job or whatever, but he doesn't belong in there. Like I said, there's I think the record is 7 fights skid by Sam Alvey.
Oh, we're talking Sam Alvey. I think Alvey got into 8. You were probably right with
I know. I think second place would be BJ Penn at I believe 5, maybe 6.
Probably someone Mike thought's trashed you had a trash career as well.
And when we're talking to levels like that, I think at a certain point the UFC has to be we're not offering you a fight. If you want to continue fighting, go for it, but we're not going to offer you a fight, and you can continue fighting elsewhere because we're not going to be responsible for anything that happens to you at a certain point. Kind of like what they did with BJ, and I believe they've done it with a couple other fighters as well.
Sam Alvey lost 8 fights in a row before the UFC cut him.
Yeah, so maybe Tony Ferguson is
just won
enough.
Sam Alvey actually just won for the first time since what was it, with 2017 or some shit.
For the first time this decade.
Yeah.
I do think if Ferguson loses, he's probably going to end up somewhere like BKFC, or I don't think the PFL really makes a play for him at this point. I think the PFL talent, the PFL talent is surpassed Tony Ferguson.
Put some respect on Game Bread Bare Knuckle, dude, please. Gets Game Bread Bare Knuckle all day.
So I think you're going to see him kind of end up there. Yeah. He'll probably end up losing there as well. He seems like the type of dude that probably, when he says he doesn't want to retire, he's probably not going to. He's probably going to be fucking fighting. And
the speakers on my camera are freezing cold right now, dude. Damn.
Yeah, he's probably going to be fighting in BKFC regional shit. See him pop up in random places as well.
Yeah.
But
I think he's made too much of a name for himself to end up on a regional scene. And I do think that I'm not predicting that this is where he's going to go or anything, but I do think the PFL definitely makes a play for him too. The PFL are not above.
I don't think
not
so.
above him.
Like I said,
the PFL signed Diego Sanchez Oh no, that was Eagle FC. My
Eagle
that was
FC.
Eagle
I was
FC.
like PFL knows what they have, and they have a good lightweight division as well. And like I said,
I don't think the PFL.
The talent in PFL has surpassed Tony Ferguson. And if they're just going for a name, then maybe they'll sign one so they could give somebody a name on their resume. But
that's what it's about. Yeah.
You know, I also do think that when you're dealing with Tony Ferguson, he probably still going to think he's big money as well. So I don't think you're going to pay for a dude that's potentially going to shit the bed. But yeah, so I got Bobby Green by finish, and hopefully, you know, the UFC, you know, just tells Tony, you know, thanks for everything, but, you know, we're not giving you another fight after this. Then again, too, I don't want to see him fucking take up a spot, dude. Like, once you get into like 6 losses in a row, it's like, one, if you're even talking about a title, it's just kind of laughable at that point. Like, you know, string together a couple wins first, and then you could start doing it. But this guy, like, still thinks he's like the answer to Khabib, I think. Like, you know, like he's really convinced himself that he could beat Mock if he fucking worked his way back. And, you know, I guess as a professional fighter, you do have to have that mentality that you can beat anybody. But when you look at something realistically, like, I think 99% of people all know that Tony's shot at this point, and I think he's just staying around based on his legacy, based on like the types of fights he's put on, and based on his name. So, you know, that's all I really got to say about that.
To some of the points that you made, or, you know, some of the things that you mentioned about like the delusion and stuff about his comments, you know, going into this, leading up to this fight and stuff, I kind of chalk that up to him just still trying to sell his fights. It's Tony Ferguson, so there still is a healthy amount of delusion in there, because at the end of the day, he's still fighting despite being on a 5-fight losing streak. But I think part of it is still just knowing he has to sell this fight, and he doesn't have anything to gain by, you know, sitting in front of an interviewer and saying like, oh, well, yeah, I'm washed. You know, you can't say that. I do think that it's a little bit of the UFC putting him in a bit of a difficult position, because what is he supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, the media, for the name that Tony's made for himself and the offbeat things that he says, he's too good for a soundbite, or he's good for a soundbite, I should say. So the media are always going to pursue that. He's gonna get a lot of attention in that regard.
The dude marked out for his own gimmick, and he's trying to maintain it. But I think at this point, it's kind of like in wrestling when you have a fucking jobber that comes out every time with the mic saying he's going to be the champion, or he's going to beat the shit out of somebody, and then the dude ends up getting squashed, and then the next week he comes out and does it again. Like, at a certain point, it's just like, we know this is your gimmick or whatever, but it's like no one believes you at this point. So
yeah, but the gimmick's written for the guy. Like,
but I don't even think like. But the thing is, like, at a certain point, it's like all right, like you say this stuff, but you come out and lose like every time. Like, I think when you sit down with the media like that, you know, as a fighter, fucking acknowledge it. Be like, yeah, I'm on a 5-fight skid. I've had a lot of fucking, you know, I've lost a lot of tough fights, you know, but, you know, I've been training hard. I'm gonna fucking come back and try to win this one, and, you know, try to put something together. Not fucking, yeah, I'm still here, fucking title, baby, woo. You know, like.
I'm gonna disagree about the whole marking out for his own gimmick thing. Yeah. Because I think for one, he's always had that mentality. I'll give him that, and he backed it up for a long time. Like, he went in there and he did the damn thing and like, he doesn't have the most stacked record that a lot of people would think when you hear about the kind of winning streak he was on. I feel like he started to lose and he started to slip, and then he kind of found himself.
When he was on the 12-fight winning streak, was he ducking better guys, or was he just fighting who he could have, though?
I mean, he fought who they gave him.
I think he fought who they gave him, and I don't think he was ducking anybody. It's just that,
like, a young Edson Barboza, a young Rafael dos Anjos, a decent fucking, I don't know, was it 2019 Cerrone?
It's
Anthony Pettis. It's not.
He wasn't that popular. he wasn't very popular until he went on that massive streak. It was a little bit of the Charles Oliveira effect, where the UFC were going to make this guy fight everybody before they even put him in, put him in talks for a title fight. I mean, he had to finally beat like a golden boy, and I don't say golden boy in terms of like where he was skill wise at the time, but a big wins, back-to-back wins over Anthony Pettis and Donald Cerrone before they finally decide. Oh, actually, no, he was booked to fight Khabib a few times before that, but I think after the win over Cerrone, that was the first time it was going to be for a title, I believe.
He was always trying to fucking fight Conor too. He was like, he was fucking calling Conor out for whatever the fuck that means. But
my thing about, as far as specifically about the marking out for his own gimmick comment though, and not to like come down like too hard, just disagreeing. My thing is, no. I think you were about to say this, Brandon, and I think people started to kind of like write the gimmick around him because people started to finally take notice about how peculiar he was. The fact, the whole writing and capitalizing every word, seemingly not knowing which words you're supposed to capitalize. So I'm just going to capitalize all of them. The whole champ shit only, fucking snap down city.
Champ shit only is sick though. Signing off CSO is sick, dude. That's fucking pretty sick to me. That's in my email. Fucking like at the bottom, it's like Brandon and I, regional manager, CSO.
And then also the whole Tony Ferguson, the type of guy memes, or copy pastas and stuff like that. Tony Ferguson's the type of guy. I kind of feel like he didn't mark out
keeping
for
the baseball, walking around, giving the baseball to
I don't feel like any of that stuff is the reason why he started to lose, or like him starting to pay more attention to that stuff. I think he started to lose, and then he started to recognize that that's kind of all he had left.
He started to lose, which is
kind of sad to say it like that.
He tripped over a fucking wire at a fucking. God damn it, dude! I wish I could go and like pull that wire to the side, just a tiny little bit. Then COVID never happens.
But I mean, I also do agree with you on some other points, though, Mike. Well, for one, I do think that he was fighting the real fucking top of the division in that run. The streak probably would have got snapped a little sooner. And this is totally a hindsight take, but I think if he actually did manage to get in there with Khabib, he was gonna get just completely
murdered,
fucking
probably.
trashed. Yeah,
I still would have loved to see it. I still would love to see it though.
Yeah, I do too. And like I said, it's completely a hindsight is 2020 take, and I don't think I'm going out.
And then I feel like it wasn't so much as if he was going through lightweight as it is now, then it would have been like, okay, that's pretty sick.
Way more sick right now. Yeah.
At the time, he was fighting who he could fight, and he was very good. Like his technique, his athleticism, the things he was doing it was really it wasn't like we're doing weird, crazy shit and like Michel Pereira or whoever doing shit like that and winning. He was doing some pretty cool shit with his elbows and with the winning from the bottom and just on flu chokes and shit like that. He was doing pretty good.
Mike, I want to propose one hypothetical scenario for you and kind of gauge your interest in it. Suppose that Tony Ferguson, win or lose, just has a good fight with Bobby Green. Is competitive, doesn't get blown out of the water, and like I said, maybe even wins a decision. But either that, win or lose, we know he has one more fight in the UFC.
Michael Venom Page is what you're gonna say.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Paddy Pimblett.
Oh fuck!
What do you think about that? Do you think you have any kind of an appetite for a Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett fight?
No, I don't. I think there's better fights. Who you give Paddy?
Okay, all right. I think that's the fight that if he loses his fight against Bobby Green, I kind of feel like that's the glue factory fight that the UFC tries to put together. I don't know if it's the most what's the word I'm looking for? The most severe glue factory fight, because it
wasn't Nate Diaz Hamza.
Ferguson's not ranked right now, is he?
It was, by the way, Brandon. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah.
Ferguson's not ranked right now, is he? He better not be.
I'll check the UFC rankings for you guys. UFC rankings, lightweight. He's definitely not going to be in the top 10. I can tell you that much right now. He shouldn't be in the top 20 anymore.
No.
But fucking stranger things have happened, you know? Top 15, no sign of Tony Ferguson on the UFC's rankings.
So he's currently not ranked.
No. But, I mean, what is rankings when you still keep getting booked on main cards?
Yeah.
You know?
I read something today that the rankings don't even matter, that the Fox Sports asked UFC, can you start doing a rankings thing for our own?
They needed it to, like, kind of, I don't know, I forgot what they said to give it something, but yeah, the rankings are just all bullshit. I'm gonna say I could probably see them if we had to do one more fight. I could see them doing some sort of Legends fight and doing like Ferguson versus Guida.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a fucking fun one. I could see some really good scrambles in that fight.
Yeah, it'll be. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna fucking give Tony someone like Jalen Turner or someone. You know,
shit.
Because love him or hate him, I think coming out of UFC 290, was it UFC 290 where Robbie Lawler retired? Yeah, it was. Knowing how the production team and the UFC as a whole hit it out of the park with that retirement, I think Tony Ferguson deserves that kind of a send off if he decides to hang him up, and if he's not being honest about what he said about not retiring. But if the UFC's trying to send him out the door, they should try and dangle that carrot and be like, look, it could be like this. You can stand there and watch your own fucking highlight reel in the cage and all of that stuff, and try and nudge him towards that maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't seem like the type of the guy that's going to take it, because good point. He's going to go try to fucking do something else, and he's not going
to walk away. Fucking Rogan's going to be holding the mic thinking he's looking at the screen. He's going to turn and fucking the guy's gone. Like, he's not going to watch that shit.
He doesn't seem like the type of guy, too, that's going to be like, this is going to be my last fight. I have a feeling this is the type of guy that's going to be fighting until you fucking can't fight no more, be it in the UFC or not.
Bigfoot Silva.
Until that's sad.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's already sad,
to give my prediction, I got Tony Ferguson by decision. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one out there.
Bobby Green by KO.
Bobby Green hasn't looked. I mean, he looked pretty good until Dober caught his ass.
He was kicking the shit out of Dober.
And that was a sick fucking headbutt he did. But Jared Gordon was winning that fight, I feel like.
I love Drew Dober too, but he was definitely getting pieced up till he landed that punch. And Tony Ferguson doesn't have the same power that Drew Dober has. I'm sorry.
No way. Yeah.
That's why he's going to win by decision.
And that was the first time Bobby Green,
I'll take it. I
believe, has been finished.
I'm going to go along with you.
I think Bobby Green's too strong, too athletic. I don't even think Tony Ferguson's grappling is really going to come into play.
Smart guys take the plus 260 money for Tony Ferguson.
Bobby Green still's prison valor, dude. He's been exposed for lying about his prison stints and shit. I have no fucking time for someone who steals prison valor, dude. Dude, I went on a crazy
random one. That's a rabbit hole.
Dude, I went on a crazy old rabbit hole. I think I talked about it on here before, where like this cholo, like this like legit cholo that stayed in the prisons that Bobby Green like said that he did, went back and like broke down the interviews that Bobby Green did, where he talked about his time in prison with his trainer, and he broke it down like line by line, time by time, with like, was the time he said he would have been there. This is what he's saying. These are the terms that he's using. This is the stories. And then he's lying about literally everything.
We know there's no one more trustworthy than a legit cholo.
No. But he exactly. But he broke it down with like actual fucking dates and times, like who was staying there. He had his prison record. He's like, I stayed there during this time. Like he had his own like prison card. He's like, this is the card I had to carry when like people would pull my shit and say like, what are you in for? What are you, when were you here? What was your sentence? What was your crime? Like he had it all on there, and she's like, so I'm not lying. And he had like commissary receipts and everything. And he's like, this fool's fucking lying about everything he fucking is saying just to look cool on JRE. And he's like, he might look cool to some people, like you're in your car driving, but there's a lot of people who are really pissed off that he did that.
Yeah, no, I've lost so much respect for
I
Bobby
did, dude.
Green
You
now.
don't do that, bro. You don't do that shit, dude.
You don't. You can't go imitating our heroes.
I was
bars.
burnt as hell off the fucking dab pin in a fucking Del Taco parking lot, dude. Just watching that shit, I was like, I have to finish this.
All right, so the rest of this card, just to do a quick little kind of rundown and point out some fights that we're interested that we won't be missing. I got to start at the very.
I'll let you guys talk.
Let's just all step all over Kenny. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. No, you were gonna say nothing. You're gonna say fucking nothing.
I was gonna say I'm over here falling asleep, so I think I'm probably gonna fucking dip out and let y'all finish out the show.
Oh, I was gonna say let the boys talk sniz. I'm gonna grab a soda, but okay, that's cool too.
My God. All right, okay, all right, Mike, you can go, but without a breakdown, you don't have to give me a breakdown. Just give me a pick for the Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla Cachoeira fight.
Maverick by decision.
Yeah, I wanted to listen to you guys talk about this.
All right, now skedaddle.
I'll get the fuck off my podcast.
Have a good night.
Kidding. You didn't call it my podcast. Thank you, Mike. I had a great time. I don't agree with you with Tony Ferguson, but it hurt. But it only hurt because you were right.
I'll be back for the unplugged though. I'm just fucking exhausted in it.
Nah, I feel you. All right, man. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next one.
Catch y'all later.
So JFK,
he's
right?
done. He's done. He'll never be on the show again.
So again, back to Prison Valor. So what he said, he had commissary receipts. He said that he was making Chi-Chi, but they didn't call it Chi-Chi. They call that Chi-Chi in the East, where he was saying he was at in Arizona.
You're serious?
They
call it Chi-Chi. What the fuck? It's like Bruno?
Yeah, no. Chi-Chi is when like you get a bag of pork rinds and then you make like prison pozole, right? You get like pork rinds and then you put like chili and like clamato in there, right? And then you put corn nuts and you put like seasoning and stuff, and then you mix it up and like you heat it up, and it's like a soup. So it's like prison pozole or like shit. I gotta
say, I no longer care that Bobby Green stole Prison Valor because I hate that they call that prison pozole. It's like, dude, you just call it slop.
Well, how would he?
You're making slop.
Then they cut up like big, like Slim Jims, and like it's like in there. Insane, dude.
Just call everything slop. Come on, prison pozole. That makes me so angry. But it does roll off the tongue really well.
Yeah,
and it's also alliterative too. So like PP, prison pozole. That's okay. All right, you're back on the board.
I called him like a legit cholo. What he like pulled up what he was doing, why he was there, who he was in with, and the crimes that he went. And so he was a legit like Mexican mafia person with like a legit. He wasn't in there for like 12 DUIs or whatever. And he fucking was like, dude, I was in this prison when he said that he was. No one ever heard of this guy. The things that the terms and shit that he's using is shit he heard on TV, and the shit he's saying is super disrespectful. And if anyone hears this, that's green light. So like Bobby, so for as sick as he is in the UFC, he's like has Mexican mafia green light on him in Arizona. Like if they see him, like they're fucking bad.
Because he wanted to lie about doing time on the JRE. Crazy.
Yeah, but those guys take that shit serious, dude.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking character, and I could see Bobby Green being a guy who's put his foot in his mouth more than once.
And it wasn't so much on him what he meant, but he brought this trainer on, and like this guy, and then the guy was just lying about like why he was in there. He's like, you wouldn't get a fucking sentence that long for what you're saying you got. You wouldn't have been in, he was basically saying like, I beat everyone's ass. They were locking me up and I had like one arm behind my back and I still beat this guy's ass. The guy's trainer. And he's like, and then supposedly the trainer got, after like 2 weeks, was the head of the like white supremacy group or whatever in that fucking, in like 2 weeks. He's like, bro, you don't get to be, just because you beat like two people's ass, even if you did, you wouldn't be the head of like the white supremacists in a fucking federal prison within 2 weeks. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Kind of a hierarchy there, guy.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I'm a big fan of Blood In, Blood Out. and like, I like it when they keep that shit real. American.
Who do you who are you favoring in this Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland fight?
I got Kevin Holland, but I do think that Chiesa could just like camp out in side half guard for like 11 minutes, and the shit will suck.
It's an interesting clash of styles for sure. I think Michael Chiesa, I think it's kind of his fight to lose. I think he should be able to roll fucking Kevin Holland up, but also another guy who doesn't really get in there as often as I'd like to see him compete now, Michael Chiesa. So it's hard to, and he's just too hittable still, I think, to go up against a guy like Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland's also going to spark him, but there could be some pretty tense moments in there. A lot of other fights on this card. Gabriel Bonfim, the other Bonfim brother, coming back, putting his 14-0 record. Yeah, on the line against Trevin Giles. That should be an interesting one. A heavyweight fight that at elevation is sure to be a fucking slop fest. Derek Lewis versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. This is kind of just where Derek Lewis is.
I'm gonna take de Lima.
In his career. I think that. Yeah, I think both guys are going to be huffing and puffing, but Marcos Rogerio de Lima is going to be fucking. Once he starts feeling that burning in his lungs, I think he's going to be intent to put Derek Lewis on his back and say, "Hey, big guy, let's play this game, please," because we're both going to be fucking looking like shit out here. CJ Vergara versus Vinicius Salvador. I think that's going to be a pretty interesting flyweight fight.
Yeah,
and then of course. Mike and I will be watching the Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla Cachoeira fight intently. That's a pretty fun, interesting.
I did. I'm not being stupid. I did want to hear you guys talk about that. I was interested in that. I saw that it caught my eye. So it would. I'll listen to what you guys have to say after.
Yeah, Prissy Cash. She's got fucking power in her hands that she's found. She's coming off of that. It was 11 months ago now. Wow. But a KO finish over Ariana Lipski. She's kind of like she's kind of like the heavy hitter that she throws heavy leather for a flyweight. But Miranda Maverick is coming off of that loss to Jasmine Jasudavicius. I think I kind of said this about her before, but I think coming off of a loss, she's going to be really, really looking to get out there and probably play a little safe and get back into the win column. I think she's a little bit kind of cerebral in that regard, and that she kind of. I trust her to know the assignment. Whether she can pull it off, that's another story. But that's an intriguing flyweight WMMA fight there. But man, I'm disappointed that, and not even about this card anymore. But we were about to kick off this whole death pool thing, and we didn't have Mike make a prediction for the death pool. Also, do you want to start the death pool on the next episode, or do we just say fuck it and start it now? Because I haven't thought about someone either. I don't have a name ready.
Yeah, let's start it next one.
Okay.
But let's fucking, what do they say? Like kind of character development, or like kind of, we're bringing it up. Like it's gonna happen. Just like I was supposed to shave my beard like a dag and wear the hat, which never happened.
Just like I was supposed to make that promo video trying to entice the UFC to come to Tachi Palace
for
the fight.
Dude,
for the
that
card
would be sick
promised.
if we did one like Step Brother style, or like something like what do they call that shit? Prestige Worldwide or whatever the fuck. They're like, come to Tachi.
Yeah.
You can make a sick one though. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, talking about. You know, it's funny. And maybe it's one of those deals like that phenomenon where like you learn a new word and suddenly you hear everybody saying it. You just hear it in the vernacular more.
Oh, right.
Or you see a car for the first time, like a certain model of car, and then they're all, I don't know if you know what
I know exactly what you mean. Like law of attraction type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't until, man, I'm forgetting what we were even talking about or why I brought it up. What were we talking about just before I
making a video for Tachi?
Oh, okay, yes, yeah, that. Over the last couple of weeks, some of the other MMA media members who I follow, like their podcasts and programs, they've made jokes about about Dana saying that he promised to take a fight to Tachi Palace,
It's
and I
not
was
a
like,
joke
what
to
is
me.
that? It's not a joke at all, but they've like that's a seed that's in other people's brains too.
They
Like
know
other
if we
people,
can unlock it. Yeah,
it's so random that anybody other than like
movement.
us from this area would remember that.
Yeah.
But they remember
Tachi
that
means
he
a lot to
promised
me.
to.
The Tachi
Oh,
means
it means a
to
whole
me.
lot. Yeah, we're the Tachi Palace boys, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I get that video done someday. But yes, everybody, if you're just tuning in, which how the fuck would that even happen?
If
But
you've ever been to Tachi Palace, put it in the comments.
yeah, let us know what you were there for. If you've watched any fights there, I'll have to kind of go down. One of I've watched a lot of I've watched some what was it, the Palace Fighting Championships cards there, a few of those. And I saw one of the funniest occurrences of something that I saw happen at the Tachi Palace was, do you remember Doug Marshall used to fight in the WEC? He was their light heavyweight champion for a little bit of time.
Definitely fucking reached. Oh yeah.
Kind of looks like a white neo-Nazi, kind of had white guy, bald head. Yeah. He was. So we were watching these fights, and we were watching a fighter named Kenny Ento fight. He was a black guy. I don't remember who Kenny Ento was fighting, but he had just won his fight. I think he just won his fight. But anyways, not too far from us was Doug Marshall, who we recognized. Me and my brother-in-law recognized at the time because he was still fighting in the WEC, I think, at that time, and he was with like a little posse of guys. And my brother-in-law went up to him to shake his hand and be like, "Hey, man, I'm a fan." And Doug Marshall's response was, "Yo, if you're a fan, you got to buy one of these shirts." He just immediately tried hawking his shirt. And my brother-in-law was like, "Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I'll pick one up a little later." He was never going to buy one, but and then later throughout the course of the night, and specifically while Kenny Ento was fighting, him and his like little crew of guys, like 3 or 4 guys that were surrounding him, his little posse, they were like openly and out loud calling Kenny Ento the N-word, like yelling it out and shit.
Oh my god.
Yes, in the Tachi Palace like ballroom where they used to have the fights.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they had him outside too, by like that fountain once or twice too. No, I saw one outside.
I never went to any of the outdoor ones.
I went to 2 outdoor ones. A friend of mine who I knew went to school with fought in them, and then I went, but he didn't know. And then the outcome kind of happened, and so I didn't tell him I went. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but they were like, "Oh, dude, you lost to that N-word," and I was like,
"Oh my god,
fuck!" I was like, "Yo, like Doug Marshall doesn't give a fuck if he's like." I mean, I know for sure the guys around him were saying it. I'm pretty sure I heard Doug Marshall say it.
Hard R?
Not to try and cancel Doug Marshall. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about Doug Marshall anymore. But yes, hard R, straight up. Like,
oh my god!
I don't know how drunk they were. Or how many
iteration of that word is okay, but like, damn, to drop a hard R in public about someone like that's right there.
Yeah, and this was
fighting in the cage.
I want to say this was around 2011, maybe 2010. Okay. So I mean, it wasn't. I was going around 20.
I think I went around like 2010. Like after my daughter was born, she was born in 2011. I didn't go to any more after that. Yeah. But yeah.
And then another fond memory I have of fights at the Palace was one time when me and my buddy, who I used to do a MMA podcast with for a little bit back in 2014, maybe.
Yeah.
We were there. I was there. We were doing. We had media passes. Honestly, our podcast was more podunk than this, huh?
Please don't. From what I understand, you guys were doing really good, though.
Well, he, Gomi, God rest his soul, he was a hustler, dude. Like, and I think he used to work at Tachi also, so he kind of.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, but he scored us press passes for some
that's badass. Cards. Yeah,
and we were basically like ringside with the rest of press row and shit like that. They were covering and running down and interviewing fighters after the fights, guys who I didn't even fucking know. The only thing I knew about them was just I watched them fight in the cage like 15 minutes prior. So we were there on a fight in a on this night, one of Uriah Faber's guys was fighting.
Oh, cool.
And him and some of the other Team Alpha Male guys were there. And at one point, I'm just like sitting there in between fights, waiting for the next fight to start at this media table. And I see Uriah Faber is kind of walking in my direction. Mm-hmm. And he's walking in my direction, and he's also looking at me. And I'm like,
wow.
He's not looking at me. He's not looking at me. And I look over, no, he's looking. He's making eye contact with me. And then he finally gets all the way up, and he asks me something. And to this day, I do not know what he asked me. I'm not. It's like, it wasn't audible. Like I could. It was just like mumbles. But I think he was asking where something was, and I was just like, I don't know. And then he just walked off. That was my fucking bitch ass interaction with Uriah Faber at the Tachi Palace. But yeah.
Yeah, that's anyways. Cool. Yeah, I've been to a few. Nothing where it was like right. But like I said, like I had a homie that fought, and he was like way on the undercard of them, and like the boys were like, "Dude, hey, our boy's fighting. Let's fucking pregame and go." And we would just go and buy tickets there and watch. A couple of them are outdoors, pretty. We ended up just staying for everything. Pretty sick, dude. And then that's more than like 11 years ago, 12 years ago, if not more.
It is really, really cool when you can be in a group of people who are there for a friend who's fighting, or if you actually have a friend who's fighting. If you know them, like that's the best.
And I was proud to wear the guy's merch. Like he had legit. Yeah. He sold merch at his gym, and it helped him like with meals and shit. Because he's like, I would. And then he said straight up on like Instagram, he's like, I'm not gonna do like a GoFundMe and have you guys just give me money. He's like, I'm going to print something with some sponsors that have been very nice to help me. And if you guys want to buy the shirts, it would go a long way for my training. And so like we all bought a couple of shirts to do that. And like, that's a good way to hawk merch. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Whereas like doing it how your boy said it, how your white supremacist boy said it.
Oh, you're a fan?
Not until you buy the merch.
Yeah, no. When I used to train with Mike at Hoist Gracie Jiu-Jitsu at Fresno, and when it was that, I don't even know if it's that anymore, but there was a few guys who fought at some of the local cards back then, and when we would go then like to those fights, and the whole gym would show up and shit, like it was hype. Yeah, like that was it was really cool to just. Oh yeah. I mean, I never helped any of these guys train or anything or get ready for their fights or anything like that, but you get there and you feel like you're part of the team and you're fucking riding hard. And that's really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, my daughter's Muay Thai gym, they do fights and stuff, and then like one of their better fighters, at the time when we were going, it was more in like the fall, and he had a big fight, so like they invited like the kids and stuff and people to go watch him, and so like everyone there wearing like their shirts and like fucking, it's sick as fucking. Then like people that you trained with and shit, it's pretty sick to go. It's a sick experience, and Tachi gave people in this area that, so
absolutely. Yep. All right, man. Cool. Well, I think it's time to put a bow on it. It's probably a fucking hour and 40-minute episode. It's been a long one.
Whittle that down. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about Sergey Pavlovic's next fucking bitch, Tom Aspinall. We didn't even talk about that guy.
Yeah, man. Just fucking keep it warm for Sergey to put those fucking lunch boxes on you, boy.
Keep those cheeks warm, Tommy.
Yeah. Yeah, bit of a concussion, isn't it?
Yeah, if they're gonna do they need to fucking bring another can to your fucking little sad island of a fucking home? They'll do it.
Oh,
Sergey will travel, dude.
Oh, it's a big win over Marcin Tabora. Yeah. So you do it against Jailton Almeida.
Yeah, he got titties. That man beating you, he got titties. I sent that. You sent me that, or someone sent that, and I well, we got time, so I cut it and I sent it to my friends, and I was like, this is what it must have felt like when I would whip you guys at fucking basketball, huh? This is what you guys would say after I beat you 3 games, because I said I like a friend group. And like they were like, if you looked at them and looked at me, you would think like, fuck, those guys are probably gonna kick the shit out of this guy at basketball. And I like beat the fuck out of him. And I was like, this is probably exactly what you guys would say. Like, man, you're losing to a guy with titties.
That's fucking grade A trash talk there too. To bring it up even now, later in life, that's terrific.
And then I sent him a picture of what my tits look like now.
That's why you're the co-host of this podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. 2 guys, 4 tits, talking about MMA. All about it.
Of varying sizes, 4 tits, none of them the same size or symmetrical. Very hairy.
No, very hairy. 6 if Mike would have stuck around.
Fight plug. Fuck yeah! If it would have been all of us, it would have looked like a pregnant fucking pit bull, dude. Just walking. Dude, Fight Plug merch though, dude. You should do. Remember, I sent you that? It was like the 2 bears back to back. You should make a shirt.
Something that I've been kind of keenly aware of because I don't know if you listen to the Sunday Papers podcast. Greg Fitzsimmons. I can't talk to
Fitzdog or whatever. Yeah.
Fitzdog, yeah. Well, they're trying to come up with merch for their podcast, and they're very reliant on suggestions from listeners. They like every episode they have like the listeners. They'll use like a song intro that listeners send in and stuff. And they're taking suggestions for different types of merch because they've had like some cool ideas, but they're not thinking about it from a really practical sense. Because it's like, yeah, it would really be cool to make this is a ridiculous example, like a Sunday Papers anvil merch or some shit like that. But you don't want to be sending that kind of stuff because it weighs a lot. So
like Supreme or whatever, like doing a brick or some shit.
A brick, yeah. So their listeners are like, well, do like matchbooks and shit like that, and just other fucking like pillow fucking cases and stuff, like random shit that doesn't cost a lot to ship. And I started to think about like what our version of that would be for merch, but that mouse pad with the bears back to back and their fucking asses doing the lump on the mouse, that is fucking primo, dude. That's really good. It'll never happen. Anyways, yeah.
We should do like a fake poll though on Instagram, like a bunch of just straight up bear, and not like the animal, but bear like themed merch.
Some real Kappa Kulak type of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And like some real bear type shit. It'd be like, what would you, okay, we're making shirts, guys. Like, what should be our first? And then like put some like real Kappa Kulak shit out and like see what people say like in a poll. I doubt we'd get like 11 people to answer, but it would just be like do some like jarring ass shit, dude, and see what like people say.
Copper drop. Hilarious. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Going to start closing this episode out. Thank you once again for always joining us on this podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you don't want to miss any of our future episodes, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell, and that's going to remind you when our newest uploads are live. And until then, we will catch you on the next episode of The Fight Plug. See ya.